Hi, Dane here. It is the 6th of August 2024, and I want to give you a quick rundown of the features on a map so far. It's still in quite early stages of its progression. So what it has so far is the ability to add layers and color those layers. So let's say you add a data layer. There's a couple of options for data layers, and the primary one, the one that I've worked on the most, that has the most features, is iNaturalist. Although there are a couple of others that are more sort of proof of concept. The other ones, like the open weather map, where it does bring you can choose, for instance, precipitation, rain, or cloud cover or something like that, but it's really just a proof of concept. There's no settings involved. iNaturalist is the most comprehensive plugin so far on a map, and when you add a data layer from iNaturalist, there's a whole lot of options. So you get to choose the species, who the observer was, the dates, and then all of the settings, basically all of the same settings that iNaturalist has on their observe, on their explore page, their map. We have the same features on a map now. When you add an iNaturalist layer. So, and of course, when you add a data layer, you can change regardless of which plugin it is that you're adding it from, you can change the color of the layer. So for example, if it's dots representing observations from iNaturalist, you can choose one of a couple of colors like red, green, blue, yellow, orange, etc. And you can choose the layer opacity as well. So if you're stacking layers, then you can reduce the opacity of the top layers so that you can see lower down layers shining through. And you can also, so once you've added a data layer, if the data layer was the first thing you added, for instance, like dots of representing observations, then you need to add a base map. At the moment, on a map doesn't give you a base map by default, so it allows you to choose. So if you add a data layer first, then a pop-up appears saying, do you want to add a base layer? Which can be, the base layer is essentially the land and the oceans and all of that you see that is below the data layers. And at the moment, the only supplier of base layers that we have that is on a map at the moment as a plugin is OpenStreetMap, which is fantastic. And there's a whole bunch of different options as well I think there's 5 or 6 different options from OpenStreetMap, different base layer types, which are really nice. And one of the other plugins that I've been working on recently, which is really exciting, is GBIF, or the Global Biodiversity Information, I forget what the F stands for. And it is in a way similar to iNaturalist, where you can add a data layer of observations, or just the distribution of a species. So where a species has been found in the past, whether it's a plant or an animal or some other kingdom. And it also, you can choose the style as well. So you can choose if you want hexagons or squares or dots, and then the color scheme as well, from, or like yellow to red, or purple to pink, or white to green. There's a whole lot of different color schemes that you can choose from for your layer. And there are a couple of other features as well. For example, I've got one other plugin that I've built for on a map is called BlackLivesMatter, and it's literally just a data set of all of the black people that were killed by police in the United States between, I forget what the range is, the date range, but essentially you've got all these dots, a couple of hundred dots, and you can add the layer, and there's a time slider feature as well that I've built in. So you can drag the time slider along from the first date to the last date, and as you drag it along, more dots appear, and you can just drag it back and forth to see more dots appear and then disappear based on the time frame, which is a really nice interactive feature. So that's that plugin, Black Lives Matter, which you can add as a data layer. That's the only plugin so far that uses the time slider, but I'm sure others will too as well. And there's some other features as well, like draw features as well that I've built in. So it's very, very, very rudimentary at the moment, but you can essentially click and add dots, or add a polygon as well. So you can effectively draw on the map. Obviously something that, well, not obviously, but something that complements that quite nicely, which I'd like to add soon, is being able to add text. So you click on a spot, a location, and you could type text kind of like to annotate maps. And there are probably a whole bunch of other little features that I've added that I've right now forgotten. Oh, one of the other features is for each layer, there's a couple of this, when you click on the little layer in the sidebar, the little arrow next to the layer pops up with a little menu. And on that menu is a couple of options like delete the layer or move up and down, so you can rearrange the layers. You can click the edit button to edit the basic settings, like for instance the color and the opacity, like when you added the layer in the first place. And one of the other features is contents of the layer, which iNaturalist uses quite nicely, because when you add an iNaturalist layer, let's say of elephants, then you click on the layer contents little icon in the menu, and it pops open a panel that shows a whole lot of information related to that layer. So for example, if you've selected elephants, then it'll show the observers, the people that observed those elephants. It'll show you the observations themselves, and then the identifiers as well, so people that have identified those observations, and so on. So it's a nice panel that multiple plugins can use for contents. And the BlackLivesMatter plugin also uses that layer contents pop-up as well to show the actual people that were killed in that plugin data set. So that's what we have so far. Stay tuned and subscribe for more information about what I'm going to be adding soon and how it progresses. Look forward to seeing you in the next one. All right, bye.